In 2019, the sisters checked into a tropical island resort, their final stop after a month of backpacking across Southeast Asia. Less than 24 hours later, hotel staff found them dead, side by side, their faces frozen in what looked like a smile. Authorities called it alcohol poisoning. But what if I told you the truth? What really happened inside that room is far more disturbing. And it's still happening in resorts all across Southeast Asia today. This is the story of the island that smiled back. They called it paradise. Bali, Indonesia, where the air smells of salt and incense, and the ocean whispers secrets you're not meant to hear. When Mara Fontaine and her younger sister Elise stepped off the ferry onto Nusa Bay Island, it felt like they'd stepped into a postcard. The kind of place you go to forget the world, not vanish from it. Mara was the careful one, the planner. Elise, the dreamer, chasing sunsets, strangers, and stories. Their parents had worried about them traveling alone, but the sisters promised they'd always stay together, and for a while, they did. The resort they picked, Sun Lagoon Villas, sat on the quiet side of the island. Online, it looked like luxury. In person, more like a construction site with palm trees. Still, a pool, a bar, a view that could make anyone forget their instincts. That night, they met two Brazilian travelers, Lucas and Diego, guys they'd bumped into weeks earlier in Vietnam. Elise was thrilled. It's fate, she said. The four of them shared drinks, laughter, travel horror stories. But somewhere between the music and the sea breeze, Mara noticed something. A smell, sweet, but chemical, and the staff. They avoided eye contact. She brushed it off. Elise laughed. Relax. It's paradise. They toasted under the stars, to life, to freedom, to the road ahead. And behind the palms, a soft hiss escaped from a maintenance shed, a sound no one noticed, but maybe they should have. The next evening, rain tapped against their villa roof. They'd spent the day exploring temples and street markets. Elise begged Mara to go out again. One last night before home. By 8 p.m., they met the guys at a beach bar called the Salty Moon, a hidden spot. No signs, no tourists, just torches, music, and locals who looked relaxed. When they sat down, the bartender smiled and slid over to carved coconuts. Special drink, he said. Sunset smile. Mara sniffed it. Sweet, metallic. Her stomach turned. Elise just laughed. You worrying too much, and downed hers completely. Remember that name, Sunset Smile, because an hour later, the smile stopped. Elise started to feel dizzy. She said the world looked like it was bending. Cold skin. Why pupils? Mara tried to get her water, but Elise laughed, said she just needed air. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. At 1 a.m., Mara texted, taking her back to the villa. She's not feeling well. Then, silence. The next morning, hotel staff found the door ajar. Inside, clothes neatly folded, 2 empty coconut shells, and the sisters lying side by side. Elise on the bed, Mara on the floor, arms stretched toward the window, like she'd tried to open it. The room smelled faintly of citrus and something else. Something wrong. When the resort manager found them, his first instinct wasn't to call police. It was to call housekeeping. By the time authorities arrived, the scene was cleaned. Sheets gone. Evidence gone. Official cause of death, alcohol poisoning. Case closed. But that's not the end. A freelance journalist named Renee Laurent was the first to question it. She'd covered stories like this before. Tourists dying mysteriously. The same recycled excuse every time. So she flew to Nusa Bay. When she arrived, she noticed it too. That sweet, chemical smell hanging in the air. Locals said it came from laundry treatment. One housekeeper whispered to her, "They told me, don't talk about the gas." Gas. The woman led her behind the villas to an old storage shed. And that's where Renee found them. Dozens of rusted metal canisters labeled in faded red letters. Aluminium phosphide. Her heart stopped. She knew that name. a farm pesticide, banned in most countries, that releases phosphine gas when it touches moisture. One breath can kill you if the resort had treated the sheets with it. The sisters had been poisoned the moment they lay down to sleep. Renee photographed everything. She sent the evidence to the sisters' parents in Canada. When the story broke, the resort denied everything. They blamed alcohol, called it an unfortunate accident, but Renee had the autopsy. Phosphine traces in their lungs. Microscopic burns in their stomachs. They weren't drunk. They'd been gassed. The resort quietly closed. The owners disappeared. A month later, a new sign. Blue Haven Villas. Under new management. Soft music. Haunting calm, but the deaths didn't stop. A couple in Thailand. A solo traveler in Cambodia. Each time, same story. Fell asleep. Never woke up. Same smell. Same sweet, chemical air. Renee spent months connecting the dots. Illegal pesticides sold under the table, used by budget resorts to kill bed bugs. No oversight, no warnings, and every few months, another tourist never checked out. One former worker told her, the gas kills the bed bugs first. Then sometimes, it kills the guests. Renee's expose, Paradise in Decay, went viral. Millions read it, but the resorts, they just changed names. The sisters' parents flew to Bali, placed flowers outside the villa, and left a note. If paradise exists, it's where we'll meet again. Faint sound of ocean waves and wine chimes. Months later, Renee got an anonymous email. No text, just a photo. A seaside bungalow in southern Cambodia. Police lights flashing in the night. The message read, same smell, same sheets. Renee opened the old photos from Nusa Bay again, the ones from the shed. And there, in the reflection of a metal tank, to faint faces, side by side, smiling. If you ever travel to paradise, and your room smells faintly of citrus, don't stay the night. If you found this story chilling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because next week, we're diving into another real-life mystery that proves sometimes paradise hides the darkest secrets.